Thank you, Deputy Costa. Deputy Lynch.
Thank you very much, Les Count Ireland has changed so dramatically over the last 10 years. We've become a very confident nation. Before, when you went for a job, you were asked, it was as much as, who do you know? And the reason you were there was because you did know someone. Now it's not who do you know, but what do you know? And what can you do? And we have people in this country who stand there and tell us about what they can do, what they know, and how they can do it better. It has taken us all over the world, contributed to every society, and brought us back. And we now have the type of confidence in this country that will allow us to introduce legislation, as Brendan Howlin has put before this House. And that's about confidence. That's what that's about. It's about being confident about who you are, about what you are, and about how you want to live your life. And that confidence doesn't mean impinging on someone else's life. And it doesn't mean interfering where interference is not necessary. It's a confidence that comes of a people that's content with itself. And that's what this bill is about. And what I've seen today from the government benches and last night has been about that lack of confidence that we used to have. It is about the terrifying spectre of someone taking something from you. And that's not the Ireland of today. The Ireland of today is a confident Ireland, and an Ireland that allows others to get on with their lives in whatever way they wish. We have 2,000 gay couples cohabiting in the last statistics. 2,000. And we are saying as a nation that they cannot enjoy the same rights in law that we have. I was listening to an interview a few months ago, and it was about this woman, a very famous woman, who was living quite happily for 16 years with her partner. Never entered her head to marry, didn't feel a need for it until he got sick. And it suddenly occurred to her that she had no rights to decide what treatment he would get, no rights even to be present while he was being treated. And as soon as he recovered, they got married. And it was about that type of security in law that she felt she needed. And that's what we are offering to people. That's what we're offering them. I would suggest, and I'm not going to labour the point because we've had this conversation before, I would suggest that the Green Party should be extremely careful about the speeches they've heard here today. Because if the no common thread running through the government speeches is, this is unconstitutional, is what they're suggesting a referendum? Because that's the only way out of it. If you truly believe that this is unconstitutional, then what you must have on offer is a referendum. And we know where that will take us. I've heard the same people speak in the same tones in relation to divorce. I've heard them speak in the same tones in relation to the decriminalisation of homosexuality. I've heard the same uncertain voices saying what we have, we hold. That's not the Ireland I want to live in. And it's not the Ireland that the majority of people out there want to live in. Labour Party has been to the fore in pushing the equality agenda. Haven't quite made it yet, and this is one of the barriers that we will have to overcome. There are others. We did introduce equal pay for women, haven't quite made that yet. But there are barriers out there, and the Labour Party will be the party that will continue to push those barriers aside and make sure that the Ireland that we live in today is an Ireland where we can all feel comfortable and where we don't have to go around in the shadows anymore. But they're the speeches you're hearing today. And if the government truly believes that this is unconstitutional, then what is their solution? And their solution should worry all of us. There are people in Fianna Fáil, I know them, who would have absolutely no problem. Charlie O'Connor, I suppose, surprised us all this morning, but would have no problem with this type of legislation. There are others that we expected better from, that we imagined were so widely read, so intelligent, and had travelled so far, that would they consider this a nothing, and yet deeply opposed. and they're deeply opposed because of the type of insecurity that they feel with it themselves. Don't let that insecurity hold us all back. We have an obligation to minorities in this country, and the gay community is but one of those minorities, and we have an obligation as legislators. We have an obligation as legislators. We have the opportunity to ensure that this bill goes to committee, and whatever flaws there are in it, let us tease them out. But let's not wait any longer. Let's not go through the same old arguments. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Lynch.